Hello everyone, this is Greta with Agape Book Club. I'd like to welcome you to the review of our first book in February. So I am very, very excited to do this book club. I feel like there's some interest out there. I'm sure there'll be more. I really enjoyed the last book club that I was on that was virtual. So I'm ready to do this. So, the way that the book club works is at the beginning of the month, I will have two books that are on my bracket, and I would let you know what two books they are, read you a summary, and then give a poll. And then on Friday, the poll will end. On Saturday, I'll announce the book, and then everybody has a couple weeks to read. And then on a Monday, I will come on and just kind of ask a few questions and try to get some feedback emailed to me that I can share on my review. So this is my review video, and I will let you know when there's a spoiler alert. I will let you know at what time the spoiler alert will come in the title of the video, and also in the description. So if somebody still wants to read the book later, they can, if they have not. So the other thing is, if somebody wanted to start later, they could, because they could just watch it. I do plan on making a playlist for the book club, so you can watch them in order if you need to, in order to go along with what's happening. So, you know, maybe you read it later and you want to follow along, but you can't do it at the same time. It's just something that will be a little versatile for everybody to kind of to get involved. I love recommendations. This first book that got chosen was a recommendation. The recommendation was, this is a great book. It took me a while to get in. I just wanted to warn you, if you don't think that it's going good, just, you know, hang in there for a little bit. And that's exactly what happened to me. Now, I read some reviews that said it took like a third of the way to get through. That wasn't the situation for me, but I would say maybe about, I don't know, 15 pages in, 20 pages in, I was kind of like, and then I was kind of enjoying some things, like hearing some of the things that were going on and kind of learning about the characters, but I still wasn't 100% in, I guess. I don't know. I was on Eva Budget Your Life's live last night, and she said that she started to read it and she's not into it. So, hey, just saying, Eva, you know, you never know, especially with some of these reviews I'm going to tell you about. So, this book, The Last House on Neela Street by Catriona Ward, is a thriller, mystery, psychological thriller, horror genre. That's the kind of books that will be part of this book club. Supernatural fiction, stuff like that. So this book was about a house on Neela Street, and this is right on the edge of the wild Washington woods. And there's three. It says that there lives a family of three. Let me just read this, right? A teenage girl who isn't allowed outside, not after last time. A man who drinks alone in front of his TV, trying to ignore the gaps in his memory. And a house cat who loves napping and reading the Bible. An unspeakable secret binds them together, but when the neighbor moves in next door, what is buried among the birch trees may come back to haunt them all. So, I wanted to share a couple of the reviews that I saw online. I know that Fully Booked gave them a 4 out of 5, and Goodreads gave them a 3.8 out of 5, and I gave this book a 4. So, like, I really matter, but, you know, if you read the book, you'll be able to make your decision. This person said it was cleverly orchestrated. I didn't see it coming. Dark and twisty, and leaves you needing to read again. Whew, come on, get it out, Greta. Sick brain is like a real thing, I'm telling you. This one said, did not finish the book, gave up after 50 pages. Very boring and ugly. Yeah, it was pretty ugly in some points. This one says, exceptional book that makes you really think. I agree with that. So, I was all over the place. Okay. This person was talking about how it was a great read And what intrigued them was the multiple points of view. It seems like she really liked the cat, and that she had no idea that it would be an intriguing experience. Strong content and strong content of abuse and trauma that was quite triggering. That could be quite triggering. I agree with that. Satisfying ending to a tale, even though the resolutions are still rather haunting. I agree with that. This person couldn't get through. This was the person who said they couldn't get through until about third part of the way, but she was glad she stuck with it. And she said, this is definitely an unusual type of horror story, but it definitely chilled me to the bone. Everything falls into place, and I didn't expect the turnout. This book is one of my favorite reads ever. And this person said the last 100 pages were just the best. There was one thing after another being uncovered and falling into place. And this one was saying that they were hoping for an amazing horror and suspense book, but what I read was far from that. It was easy to guess, a lot of plot points early on. I only finished it because I wanted to see if the story would be neatly wrapped up. It was easy to read, which is nice, and the characters are entertaining. I can't tell if this person liked it or not, but I don't agree with anything they said. Nothing. I can't read this one because there's a spoiler alert, so I don't want anybody to see that. But anyway, I am going to get into my review. So if you need to leave for the spoiler alert, I hope you enjoy this content and like and subscribe. I would love you to come back on March 3rd and help pick a book and read it with us and provide some feedback in your review. All right, now going into the review. I use I have these on Ko-fi where you can get these little book review templates and everything. And I enjoy them. They're a lot of fun. So you can get those on my Ko-fi. So I'm going to go ahead and read this review. It says, don't usually bother with reviews, but this book had me hooked from the beginning to end. So many twists and turns, so much sadness. So agree with that. The main character goes from villain to victim. Excellent read. Couldn't put it down. I agree. Yeah, so I really enjoyed reading this book. I didn't know if I would or not. When I first started reading it, I had all the feels. Like I was happy, I was sad, I was intrigued, I was I found things very funny. It was just crazy. It did take me like a little bit to get into, but once I got into it, it was great. My favorite character was Olivia. I loved Olivia. She was hilarious, and the things that she said, like all the humans being Teds and the dog being a brouhaha. And she had, the crush on the other cat. Oh my gosh, it's so crazy. But I also enjoyed like Ted's, like his childlike manner, and how Ted would say stuff like the bug man or the orange juice haired man. Excuse me. One of my favorites, though, was when he was doing his recipes and talking about food and how much he liked food. And he said that the one that you could tell what a person's like by what they eat. And if they eat salads, they're bad people. That had me laughing all the time. I thought that was hilarious. I just loved it. I loved this book. I mean, it had me all over the place. I felt like Ted was a kind soul, and I mean, at the end, he really was. He was a tortured, abused child, and now he's an adult, and he's still living under his mom's thumb. And like, I mean, he comes out at the end, and just, I mean, it was crazy. It was just, I thought Ted was funny. I thought he was childlike. Like, I felt bad for him. And then I could not stand him in the middle when I truly thought that his daughter was in a freezer with holes in the top. I thought that was real. And then when Lauren and Olivia started talking, I thought Lauren and Olivia were really talking. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And then they were going to kill Ted. And I was like, yes, yes, get away. And then I was like, oh my gosh, it's Ted. You're killing yourself. Like, what are you doing, you poor child? Like, I really did. Like, I went all over the place with this book, but I had so much fun reading it. And I did not expect that, honestly. I did not expect that. Let's see. So what was a memorable part of the book? Well, everything. Dee and Lulu. Dee was a normal teenager, and I did not think at the beginning that she was the one, that she was the one responsible for the mistake that led to Lulu disappearing. It made me so sad for her to be this grown woman still, lying to herself, because she's lying to everybody else, and just trying to find her sister. And she had to live with, but then also knowing this, and then living with that guilt her entire life. Oh my God, it was so sad. So sad. Like, to me, the story that Dee had was just extremely sad. And then with Ted, it was extremely sad too. But I don't know. I mean, it was just like the whole, I guess everything in the story was sad. And then like that bug man, like what a jerk, using Ted the way he did to take advantage of his disability. I was so mad at him. Like, I'm so glad that Ted got away. I love the way that it ended. Did you like or dislike Ted? I've definitely, yeah, it was a love-hate relationship for a while. The ending, I did not see it coming. Maybe I'm fooled. I truly thought that Lulu was going to be in that house somewhere dead, and that the ghost was haunting the house or something like that. Like, I didn't expect it to end the way that it did. I didn't expect all these things to happen. I didn't expect to really love the character, Ted, and his other personalities. I thought Lauren was a brat. I was like, she's so mean to her dad. She is such a brat. And then when she ran away at the mall, I was like, how did this even happen? So was he wearing the stretchy pants? Just wondering, because that was hilarious. No wonder they were broken, because this big man is putting on these stretchy pants. Like the visual people. I was dying. This book was funny. It was sad, but funny. Like, I loved it. I loved it. I'm not going to lie. I just love this book. This book was so fun. So thank you guys for picking this book, because to be honest, I'm a huge Darcy Coates fan, and I wanted Darcy Coates, but I can always read that later. But this book was really great. So I'm really hoping you guys join in the fun the next time. Come back on, March 3rd. Let's read another one together. I want to hear what you guys think. It was fun. Oh, and I made this and I put it on Ko-fi. It's just a little tracker, and we didn't have anything for January, but I put The Last House on Needless Street and just put that there. And I'm just going to color these in as we finish a book. And that way for this year, we'll have this, and I'll probably finish coloring it little by little. Oh, you know what? Let me just bring up real quick. I have, and I'll bring this up again. Sorry, Shades Budget. So I was coloring this, and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to need some more coloring pages. But then, Shades Budget put out some of these coloring pages, and I was like, oh, that's perfect, because I can save and color while I'm reading. Thank you. So yeah, but anyway, I had a great time with this, and I'm excited to see where this club goes, and how many people we can get involved in the interaction. And I'm telling you, if this book club is just as enjoyable as the budgeting community, and as nice and kind and thoughtful and supportive, I mean, we are going to be okay. This has been such a great experience getting into this. It's really helped me mentally. My mental health, definitely this community has helped. So thank you so much for being here. Please like and subscribe and come back and join in. I can't wait. All right, guys. Bye.